my gosh, John, I remember how to push all the buttons. Aren't you proud of me?
How long have you been off of StreamYard and YouTube?
Let's see, StreamYard quite a while, maybe 6 months off of
Yeah,
StreamYard.
don't forget how to use it after a while, huh?
I know. And I posted a couple of shorts just to keep my channel,
I
because
saw that,
they do
right?
things to you if you don't post every, I think, 3 months.
Oh,
So about
yeah,
3 months ago, I posted a short just to keep my channel, active.
yeah.
And then I posted a few in the last couple days because I'm actually getting back on the horse, getting back into YouTube, coming back to it.
Good. I'm glad you're back.
Yes.
I'm glad you're
I'm
back.
excited to be here. Your channel really has exploded. Like I blinked for twice and I look over and I'm like, look at John.
Well, here's the weird thing. Here's the weird thing. It was growing very slowly. And then
Okay.
one video did it. One video about
Oh.
ruminant meat versus monogastric meat.
Huh.
Same formula, same thumbnail image. And for
Yeah.
some reason, it exploded. Just hundreds of thousands of
Really?
views. Yeah,
That's
just
fantastic.
from that one. It's just like, how did this happen? And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to copy the same formula and do all my videos that way.
Right.
And they didn't get as exciting.
That's
the other
not how
videos.
the algorithm works. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
Wah,
it's still a mystery, but I still love doing it. I put one out every day. I film them all in batches, and I'm just
Yes.
I never run out of things to talk about with Carnivore.
Yes.
Never, never, never. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, and I'm glad you're back.
It is good to be back. And I was thinking we need to do another song at some
All
point
right.
here in the future. I have an idea for a
Okay.
good song that we can do. I've gotten a few comments about that and coming back in the community. I don't know her name. Somebody's like doing songs out there. And then they mentioned us, like, well, Christy and John have done some songs, like they're friends. And like,
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
it was Butter Bob's channel because Butter Bob is back.
Oh,
And yes, he's back. And so he does a live, gosh, what day of the week is it? On the weekend, I think Sunday night. And he
okay.
just invites anyone to hop on, right?
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, so I hopped in there and yeah, people are talking about, oh, there's this song. And I didn't ever get to hear any of the songs. Rick knows. I see Rick in there. Hi, Rick.
Oh, Rick's everywhere.
Who is it? I know.
He's
Who is
everywhere.
it that's doing the
Now
song?
there's a couple people that are writing lyrics.
Yes.
And they plug them into an AI generated thing and it makes the song for you with the visuals and everything. And like, really, it's amazing. It's not them singing or anything or performing it, but they wrote it and they get to like copyright it and everything. And they're really amazing songs. John Together Strong has put out a whole bunch of songs that will make you have chills. They're so good. Yeah.
Gosh, well, I'm going to have to look into that and see if I can find those. Yeah, thank you. So Sandy's saying it is Sunday night at 7 with Butter Bob.
Oh, all right.
That's super fun. And yeah, I have to go find these songs now because that's kind of just what I'm hearing about. Our songs are a little bit different. So we kind of do like parodies, right? Like we pick a song, everybody knows the tune.
I was trying to share that with George Goodenough. I said, George, he loves the songs from some of the people that do it the way I explained it. And I said, well, Christy and I made a few songs, but ours are karaoke to popular songs that people already know. And that's why I kind of like it because people already know the melodies, and they're excited about. And then we just change the lyrics to Carnivore, kind of make them funky and fun. And I have fun doing it with you. I do it with the green screen and make it look like you're in the same room with me.
Yes, it's so fun. So I'd say we get one of those going again and get that posted.
All right.
Because that is something that I miss.
That was fun.
That was fun. We got to do it.
Yeah.
So, I want to talk to you about, the stress of teaching and Carnivore. And I had this question because, you're a retired teacher. I'm still in the thick of it. And that's part of the reason why I took a break from YouTube. Not that I don't love my YouTube people. Like I see you guys in the chat. We'll pop them on the screen in a minute, but hi, everybody. Not that I didn't love all you guys and love the community. And I think community is so super important. But there's just a lot going on in my classroom. And honestly, this is no joke. Like if I wasn't Carnivore and have the mental health that I have now, I really don't know how I would handle it.
Well, you handle it the way the other teachers handle it in school, right? Take a lot of sick days, a lot of personal days, blow up at the kids, get sick, colds and flus constantly because you're run down. I mean, I remember what I was like before I was healthier and trying to manage all that stress. It's not fun. It's very hard. It's much easier when your body's functioning properly. It really is.
Yes. So I've had some unprecedented things happen that I never thought would happen as a fifth grade. So yes, I'm elementary, but I'm fifth grade. You know, it's the top of the elementary. That's why we have so much in common. Can your kids were middle school, and
I taught 6th and 7th and 8th.
Yeah. So like really close to the same age, right? Like I feel like my kids, where I teach, is more closely related to your students as compared to, let's say, the first graders, at my school, right?
Yeah.
But every state has what we call ed code. And it kind of governs, what we do in the classroom as far as a lot of things. But one of them is like, the consequences of what can happen if kids do X, Y, Z, and what we may have to unfortunately suspend a student for. And I never thought that in my fifth grade classroom, we would be dealing with the section talking about drugs and drug paraphernalia. Well, that happened.
What happened?
Yeah. So 2 separate incidences, but within a couple of days of each other. So one student,
oh gosh.
3 different students, which I'm not going to name any names, but 3 different students. One was a totally separate incident. So a totally separate thing. So one student brought a vape to school that contained marijuana.
Okay.
And he smoked it in 2 places on campus, and the other kids saw him and reported that. He brought that from home. So it was somebody else's, that it belonged to someone at his home, but he brought it to school and did that. The other 2 kind of were in it together with one vape that contained nicotine. But here's the scary part. They found that vape in the park. Just a random vape on the ground.
They don't even know what was in it.
That could have had anything in it.
And they did, and they sucked it in.
Yes, they did, out on campus. Yes. Wow. And this was all just like 2 weeks ago in my classroom.
And I know there's cameras everywhere. I'm sure they have
correct.
the video surveillance of that and use that.
So here's the thing. The kids this is how savvy they are. There's a couple places the cameras, one can't go because it's in the bathroom. So there are obviously no cameras in the bathroom for privacy. So that was one of the places that all 3 of them did that. One was behind the handball wall. And that's like a design flaw of the school, the way they set up these handball walls. If they would have angled them this way, then the camera could have seen, but they're this way. So the camera gets.
Cameras probably came after the wall was built. And,
yes. The cameras came way after the school was built. There were not cameras in schools when the school was built. Are you kidding me? That's a new development, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they all knew where the cameras weren't, and they decided to go there. And boy. These are the kind of stressors, that we're kind of dealing with in schools these days.
I remember those very well. We had kids that brought in the pot gummies that the mom and dad had, and they passed them around. Kids had to go to the hospital. It was just like, there were other incidences where they were doing the same thing, and then they went crazy and they hit a teacher, and it's just, crazy.
Yes.
It never ends. It's drama every day. And if it's not the drama that the school creates with the code lockdowns and the fire drills and this special day and that special day and this announcement, this interruption, am I right?
Yes.
It's the kids doing it. I don't miss that.
Yes, I know it. Well, I will say I have some really neat students this year, and
good.
I feel that I got a little bit of a respite here, and I'm, ready to come back and be with all my carnivore people again. It's very nice to be here. I'm still carnivore. I'm doing fine health-wise and diet-wise and all of that good stuff. I didn't disappear because I fell off the diet or started eating.
I was concerned because you kind of I didn't hear from you. I didn't hear from a bunch of the people that we were on all the time with on Wednesday night. Remember with Larry? A lot of people, they don't chime in or say hi anymore. I'm like, what? I hope they're okay. But you always, every once in a while, I'd say something to you and you would respond. So I'm like, all right, she's still on the earth. Everything's good. She's just a teacher.
I'm just a teacher. Yes. Teacher, mom, and so on. Well, hey.
How's your son? By the way, let's talk about your son. And he was ADHD and carnivore, right? Not just low carb.
Yes.
Changing the behavior, the cleaning up his room, everything totally turned around. And how's he doing now?
Yeah, so this is crazy. So February 1st, 2 years ago. So February 1st of 2024 is when I said, would you like to try this for 30 days? At that point, he had watched me, we'll say Proper Human Diet, because I think from February to June of 23, I was keto, but meat keto, like really heavy meat keto. Yeah. And then from June of 2023 to that February of 2024, he watched me do carnivore. And he saw a mom with so much more energy. Same. He plays in the school band. So he has to be at the football games, which go till, for me, late. So I wouldn't have gone. I've been like, nope, I'm sleeping. But I was able to go watch him do his thing, not be falling asleep, not be complaining about it, be in public with a bunch of people, not have a bunch of nerves about that. So he watched kind of all of that for a year. And, even though he was 15, they do still watch,
They do.
And they do take some of that in. And so, yeah, I just said, hey, you do want to try it for 30 days. You've watched me. Also, I had been watching a lot of, Metabolic Mind. I had looked at, Dr. Georgia Eads' book, especially, but also Chris Palmer's book about, brain energy and Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind, those 2 books. So I kind of mentioned there's, some research that kind of shows, we've tried everything else, even up into including medication. None of it helped anything. And within a week, he was just randomly cleaning his room one day. Like that was just a normal occurrence, right? And he has not looked back since. So we are now just over 2 years. We went
he's
from
17.
He's 17. Yes,
Wow.
He's turning 18. He's like 17
wow.
and a half.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
He'll be turning 18. Like
how's his body look? Because he's going through that stage where he's probably sprouting up and, getting the masculine features and everything.
Yeah. So he is quite tall. Although both my sons have outgrown their dad. So what I'm curious to see is if the younger one is going to outgrow the older one. So I have a 20-year-old as well. And I think he's almost caught the 20-year-old. And the 20-year-old is pretty much like at the end of his, he's 20, right? What is it, 21 or so? That males can grow until. So my 17-year-old still has, some years to go where he could be growing. And he's sprouted up. So we went to the pediatrician because he does have asthma. But let me just tell you this, we skipped a year going to the pediatrician because he had not used his inhaler. Oh. So he didn't see his pediatrician for 2 years. And then it was like, well, we better get it because your inhaler is expired and on the off chance that you may need it, right? So he doesn't need it as much as
just to have it on hand, right?
Yeah, just to have it on hand. So this was pretty recently, I don't know, maybe 3 months ago or something. I took him to the pediatrician and he was astonished at the rate of growth that Zach had shown in the 2 years, since he had been seen last. And then he said, well, that's really good. You must be eating all your vegetables. Just keep eating your fruits and vegetables.
Right. That's the standard line.
And he wasn't facing us when he said it. So my son and I, like my son's next to me, right? And we go like this and we just like kind of laugh to each other and then got a straight face when the doctor turned around. We're like, sure, doc, we'll just stay right on that.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to nod.
Yes.
Just nod.
But the plan was not for him to go carnivore. That's the funny thing. So me, I'm the accidental carnivore. I just decided like, I don't want to make this broccoli, so I'm just going to eat the ribeye. And then, oh, whoops, I guess I'm a carnivore. Like it wasn't
right. I remember
choice,
you saying it just happened. Yeah.
So for him, it was like, my first thing was not, we're just going to go carnivore. Because I mean, if that happened, I was like, hey, that would be great. But you know what? Let's just get him off of all sugar. Ketogenic is important. The high fat ketogenic for the brain. And he started mostly carnivore because he never really ate veggies. So he just kind of took out the fruits because of the trying to be more ketogenic. Yeah. He went all straight meat, but like it was a lot of substitution type recipes. So I would make him chicken nuggets with like ground chicken and that kind of thing. Right. And then I still did like a keto dessert because he was very like into his dessert every day. So we just made it like a keto dessert. And we kind of narrowed it down to these cookies that he really liked. And he probably did those for 6 to 9 months where I'd make these cookies, I would freeze them and he would have one each day because he could do that. Like, I don't know, I never had that.
I can't moderate.
He could do that. He'd have his one. And then when they'd be running out, he'd say, oh, I'm almost out of cookies, whatever, make him more. And then one day he just stopped asking me to make cookies.
Wow.
He just didn't. So he probably hasn't had dessert in over a year. And so all that's gone. And we haven't done the substitution foods in forever. He's like, when are we having chuck roast? There's chuck roast in the fridge now. That's what he'll have for dinner tonight. He has eggs and sausage with butter for breakfast. He has like some cut up cheese and sausage for lunch that I can just send with him to school. If he's home on like the weekend, he doesn't eat lunch. He just has breakfast and dinner. Yeah. He just eats when he's hungry.
That's fantastic.
And then chuck
he's
roast,
set up for success.
Thighs.
He is set up for success at such an early age, and none of us, most of us carnivores, we came into this much later in life. So probably when he's later on, when he goes into college and everything, he may experiment which is so healthy because they're like, well, I'm going to test, we're humans. I'm going to test this. I'm going to try it because I'm watching everybody eat this pizza or whatever. And then he's going to observe his body. And he's going to realize, wow, mom was right. Wow, this carnivore. And then he'll go back. Like we all do that. But I think he might do that because he's young. And if he does, man, it's a wonderful lesson. It's a great lesson.
Nothing like real life. Exactly. Like, to feel that. But I think he just feels so good that he just, after the first 30 days, I said, do you want to keep going? And he's like, yes.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was just his life. Like I never asked him again. It's just what he does.
It becomes the norm.
And I think he feels so good now. He has no desire for, we go to his grandparents' house when his cousins have birthdays and things like that. And there's all kinds of stuff being served, or even just grandma's house for fill in the blank holiday. There's
does he eat any of that, or he doesn't have any of that?
No, none.
What does the grandmom say though? Why won't you eat my pie? Do they put the guilt trip thing?
Yes. I feel for her, but yeah, she is very much of the school that, grandma shows her love by the food that she can make her grandkids.
Right. That's tough. That's a hard one for adults. So I think it'll be harder for the kids.
Yeah, she just, it's very hard for her to be able to give that up. But her other grandkids all eat whatever she makes them or whatever. Right. So it's not like that's totally taken away from her. But yes, she feels sad. And even for me, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, make me a tri-tip. I'm good to go. We Californians and our tri-tip, we love it out here. Absolutely. Or make me burger patties, or I'll bring a picanha.
I saw all your burger patties in your freezer. Did you go haywire?
Did you see those?
You pretty much got them for free. What an amazing deal!
So it was like $6, and they're all beef. I edited that part out, but because it was like the package was crinkly, but they're all beef. There's no.
My thing is, you're sitting there going through your freezer, and I'm like, that's all she has in here, though. Is there any pecan? I don't see anything else going on in here.
That shocked John, because if you know me at all, like, hi, if you're new and everything, but if you know me at all, you know me and my picanha.
Picanha, baby.
There's probably a couple picanhas buried down in that chest freezer under all those.
And they last long. You freeze stuff. My meat lasts forever when you freeze
forever. Oh, yeah. But it was like, I think $6 for 12 burger patties. Like, how are you going to pass that up?
You can't. You have to, and you buy in bulk. Yeah, absolutely. Because when it's not on sale, then you wish you had bought it.
Right? I think normally they're like 14 something.
And that's one of the tricks that I tell people when they say, oh, I can't afford to eat carnivore, it costs too much. And like, that's one of the tips is when there are sales, there are manager specials, you buy, it may be expensive in the moment because you're buying all this meat, but then you have a freezer, and then you're not buying the next couple of weeks because you bought it when it was on sale. It's huge, big savings.
That's right. Yeah. Yes, I do that whenever there's a sale, and that was like probably the cheapest I'd seen. And those are the ones we do eat all the time. So like, I'm going to buy those anyway, but it's like when they went on sale, instead of buying one package for the week, I'm like, give me like 6 of those, and then give me 4 more.
No, I would have done that too. We did that at Christmas time and Thanksgiving when the prime ribs go on sale, and you get this big prime rib for $42. This huge prime rib. So I buy 5 of them. Like, it's a lot of money. It's hundreds of dollars, but I'm putting it in my freezer. I still have them. This is March. We still have prime rib we haven't gotten to yet. So it's a wonderful way to buy your meat is when it's on sale. Absolutely.
Do you find yourself, so I find myself going in phases in carnivore as far as what meat I eat the most of. Like
mine is based on what's on sale. That's
interesting.
What I do.
Mine is not based on that.
No, it's what you have an urge
for. The burger patties, it was because my son eats those all the time, and I'll have burger. Yes, but it's for a while I was like not eating ribeyes. Like when I first started, I ate a lot of ribeyes, and I would look for them on sale, and I would stock up, and then they didn't go on sale, and then I found picanha, and then I did picanha on repeat for a year. I don't know, a long time. And then it was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy a ribeye. So I've been eating a lot of ribeye. I'm like back on the ribeyes lately. Yeah. They're expensive, but if I eat a ribeye, that's the one thing I eat all day. It's like a little over a pound of ribeye.
I've been getting a big slab of ribeye at Costco. I bought a Costco membership, and then I put it in the freezer for 3 hours to firm it up. And then I lay it out on my thing, and I take my really sharp knife, and I do it basically 1.5 inches because they shrink a little bit when you dry brine them and when you cook them. So about 1.5 inches. And I just go, and because it's very stiff, that's the trick, is you want to make it not frozen, but not mushy, so you can cut
Yeah,
into
so you
it.
can get through it quickly.
Right. And I cut like 10 or 12 steaks
Mm-hmm.
out of this big thing. I'd save so much money, and they look so much better, the ones in the store that are cut and for sale.
Interesting.
And I get so
Yeah.
excited when I come home. I'm like a little kid at Christmas. I'm like, I'm gonna cut my steak. And then I use butcher paper. I wrap them up in butcher paper like the old butchers used to do. And I take my felt tip marker and I put the date and everything. It goes in the freezer, and I get all excited because I have a freezer full of the best meat.
Yes.
Yeah. Carnivore,
Simpson says now she knows why she couldn't find any prime rib over Christmas, because it was due to John is in the world.
Oh, wow.
John won it all.
Hey, if they're there and they're that cheap, I can't only buy one.
That's
How
right.
do you just buy one when they're there? Because it's so good.
So
and
good.
the way we do it, you know how I do my picanha. We have the Traeger
Yes.
smoking grill. We smoke it slowly.
Oh.
And that prime rib has a smoke flavor to it. And it's so good. Oh, my God. And my favorite part is the bone. I cut the bone. I sit there and I gnaw on the bone first.
Yes.
I bite all the meat. It's so good.
You know, in my family, who does that is my mom. She will do that. Like if we're eating chicken, she will like whatever the like stuff, like all down to all there is bone. Like she cleans all that stuff off of there, man.
It's primal. I don't know what it is. I enjoy the bone. Yeah.
Yes. Well, you know, I did that with the picanha, what you're talking about, but I cut it up into picanha steaks, and I enjoyed that. And I just put them, you know, my air fryer, believe it or not, the Tasty, because it has the little temperature probe and everything. And it's just easy for me. I have a grill outside. We haven't used it in years. I don't know. And it's just the fastest. So
it's faster if you're cutting it for sure. Yeah.
The other day I took my first bite and I was like doing my, you know, Carrie does his like this. And I was in the kitchen just going like this, and my husband's laughing at me.
We get so excited over our food. We carnivores. And you know, we never get tired of it. People always say, aren't you tired of eating meat every day? Yes. And there's so much variety, so many ways to cook it. I'm still learning different ways to cook it. I bought a Bighorn grill. Do you know what that is?
No. Do tell.
You may have seen them. They sell a brand. I forget what it's called. It's on the internet. It's $1,200. And I'm like, I'm not buying that. It costs too much. But they sell a $200 style of this, and it's propane. It's this little square box. I have it right here, and it shoots the flames down from the top down, and then you can put the steak on whatever shelf you want, depending on how thick your steak is. So we have ribeyes tonight, just because we're out in the East Coast, we ate already, and they're about an inch thick, and 1 minute on each side. That's how hot this thing is. It's 1,200 degrees in there. And then all the fat drips to the bottom, and I scoop it into my jar, and I have my tallow. But it sears a steak like a quality steakhouse would. It's so good. So you never stop learning how to cook. There's so many different ways. I haven't done sous vide yet. Have you ever done that?
No. And you know what? I should have taken them up on it. I did get like a sous vide company that makes a sous vide. They emailed me and offered to like give me a free one if I would like become talk about it or whatever. Right, and I just never followed up with that.
Like you have the time. Yeah.
I didn't have the time, but I'm like, I should have really taken them up on their sous vide, their free sous vide, because then I could have tried it out.
I want to that's my next dive in that I'm going to try, but I don't want to use the plastic bags.
No, I know there's other
glass
options.
jars, or there's like metal containers. You have to push the air out. But my whole thing with sous vide is plastic. I just can't handle that.
I don't want to do that either.
Yeah.
I agree with Simpson. She said the meat closest to the bones has the most flavor.
Oh,
I have like a ribeye with a bone, I do what you do and I gnaw on it. That's like the best part.
Isn't it though? I don't know. I'm like, I become an animal. I'm like,
it is the most flavor right there. I don't totally agree with that. Well, yeah, I find myself going in phases. So I'm in a ribeye phase right now. It's probably, I haven't eaten dinner yet. It's only 4 o'clock here. And normally I would be eating now, but we're doing this now. So I'm going to eat after.
Really? You eat around 4? You eat early.
I eat early. Yeah. I eat lunch. I eat lunch at school, and then I eat like an early dinner. And then, so that's like kind of like my,
and then that's it until the next
one.
Well, I eat like 11 a.m. and then I eat at 6 or 5:30.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's it. And I have no cravings. I have no urges to eat anything in between. If I'm out and people are serving things or whatever, and I partake, then I'm like not hungry. I don't want to eat a meal, so I don't want to ruin that. And I never used to be like that. I was such a snacker before.
Oh, I was gonna ask you. Yeah. So before, did you get like hangry and like every couple
Oh,
hours you
heck
felt
yeah.
like you
Oh,
had to
yeah.
eat
Oh,
something?
I had to have the Doritos. I had to have the potato
Hmm.
chips. I had to have munchies, pretzels. I
Hmm.
had to have stuff to eat all day long.
Yes.
And at school, especially because the stress, I was a stress eater. I was an emotional eater.
Oh.
I ate for any
Hmm.
reason. If I was happy, if I was sad, if I was, I was an emotional eater. And that's all different now,
Yeah.
completely upside down. And I have no desire. And more than anything, it's a mental thing for me. I know what carbs and sugar and seed oil are. I know what processed food is and what it does to
Yeah.
the body. So even if, and I don't have a craving, but if I actually had a physical craving, my mind kicks in and says, you don't want that. You don't want to put
Yeah.
that inside your body. So
Yeah.
that always helps me too,
I
knowing that.
have the same thing. I don't. It's crazy to me that I can eat like if I'm gonna do an like if I do an OMAD, I have to make a choice to do it, and that I do still have to like, okay, but you're gonna OMAD just a few more, you know what I mean? But if
Right.
I eat twice a day, there's none of that. Like
Oh, I want to
none of that
share
that there
something. Yeah,
used
I
to
have to
be.
share something with you. I'm always 2 meals a day, like always, always,
Mm.
always, always. We just went to San Juan, Puerto Rico. We spent a week there, nice vacation, beautiful. And we took this little trek, little adventure, climbing up the rainforest, the waterfall, and everything. And I didn't want to eat until dinner time. And then they were
Okay.
going to take us to a place and give us all this crappy food. And I chose not to partake. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this fasted, right? I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And my last meal was dinner the night before. I had more energy. I
Hmm.
had more stamina. I was more alert on no food. And then we didn't eat until 6 o'clock that night when we got back to the Airbnb. I'm like, damn, ketones
Wow.
rock.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking of so many things. I should jot them down because I thought of something else about school when you were talking about that before, but I'll save that for a minute.
Oh,
When you said ketones rock, so yes, and I prefer. So I tried something because they were giving them away for free, and I'm not going to name the brand, but it was like an exogenous ketone,
yeah.
which I would normally not like want to spend the money on, but like they were giving one away for free, so I'm
All
like,
right.
I'm just going to try this. Boy, oh, I don't know. Okay. I didn't measure my blood ketones because I did it at work. It was one of those days, John, you know what I mean, where they send you to the district office and make you sit there for 8 hours instead of teaching kids because it's like
Oh,
a teacher training. Look
I'd
at his face,
rather
y'all.
I'd
Look
rather
at his
teach.
face.
I would rather
Thank
teach the
you.
children. I can't stand
Yes. So there I am, and I knew that I was going to be in that room, and you know how it gets, and you're like,
Oh
we
yeah.
still have 6 more hours. What? And so I was like, what I'm going to do is bring these ketones
Did
with
you?
me and try drinking them at lunch to see if, because the afternoons after lunch, I'm just like, get me out of here
Oh yeah.
because it's anyway. Yeah, I felt. Fortunately, they don't last in the system very long because
Right.
I don't know if it was because my natural ketones were already so high. Maybe I don't know,
Mhm.
but I felt like shaky and weird. It was
When you
not
took
good. I
them, you
was like,
mean?
yeah. Like, oh, I might pass out.
Like caffeine? Like too much energy?
No, I no. Well, yeah, but like almost like I was gonna pass out. Like I
Ooh.
got out of my car,
Well,
I
how
drank them in
much?
my
Like, was it
car.
like a little shot
It was
type
like a
thing?
shot.
Did it
Yes.
taste like
It
gasoline? I hear
tasted
it.
terrible.
Yeah, I've heard
Yes.
it's horrible. Yeah,
I'm not gonna say the brand because
that's
people use
fine.
them and they enjoy them. And I don't
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to,
yeah, yeah. You don't
that was
want to
my personal experience.
hurt
I
the
did not enjoy
company,
it.
right?
Yes, it was like a little shot. So yes, I took them and I was sitting in my car because I went to go like, I didn't eat. I went to go like wash my car and then
Okay.
I did, I was fasting and then I thought, okay, I'm going to like do this because maybe yeah, I just like, I'm going to use the kids line. I'm going to crash out. That's what kids say today.
Wow.
I'm going to crash
Crash
out this
out.
afternoon because it's just the worst to be in those meetings all day long.
Yeah, yeah.
And the afternoon is the worst, until it's time to go home. And so, yes,
Oh,
I'm
I
like, I'm
know.
going to drink these and then maybe I'll have like the stamina, the more energy to like get through. But yes, I got out of the car and I was walking back to the building and I had to stop and like take some breaths. Don't pass out.
You
Got to be back
felt
in the room.
you felt
Yeah, like
dizzy, or I mean,
dizzy and super jittery. But I
too
drank
much.
coffee. It wasn't like
Too
too
much
much coffee.
It's
It
interesting
was
because
I
when
so
my ketones are raging, whenever I do
yeah,
like a long-term fast, I do a
right.
long-term fast maybe every 4 months. I do like a 3 or 4 day fast. And when I
Yes.
had I don't do it anymore, but my Keto Mojo meter. And I remember one time my ketones were like 4.5, 5.
Yeah.
Geez, and I felt it.
Yeah.
My whole body, I felt it, but I didn't feel sick or I was
Mm.
going to pass out. I
Yeah.
just
So
felt, I
yes.
almost like a little bit of a headache, but it wasn't a headache. Like
Yes.
you feel it.
Yes. And I've had that feeling before. And I have a meter, which I hardly ever use. I don't like pricking my finger. I'm a baby. I don't like pricking my finger. But I should have, I mean, that was probably in hindsight, right? Because it would have been interesting to see what the numbers were. But I'm not going to do that again. I don't, like I said, I just figured I'd give it a shot.
You tried it. How do you know if you're not going to?
Yeah. They were offering them for free to like get people to, give them a try. And good for those people that it works for. But
Dr. Sivas pushes them all the time and talks about how important they are. And I personally have a problem with paying a lot of money for something like that when I can just make my own personally. And I think if you take them exogenously a lot, then your body's not making them because it's getting them.
Yes, I could see that for sure. I don't really know, but that makes sense,
Yeah.
So yeah, that was interesting. Hey, we have a question here from Simpson. So before we move on to the next thing I want to talk about, I'm going to put this up because it's for you, John. So she says, John, if you don't mind, can you tell your carnivore story? I'm familiar with Christy, but I don't know you as well.
Oh, but I've seen your name. I've seen this person a lot.
To hear your story.
I'll try to keep. I have versions of my story. I've told it so many times. Yeah. I'll try to keep it real brief. So I'm chugging along through life and putting on the weight as I get into my 40s and my 50s, as many of us do. And I had been on many different diets, and I tried another diet, and I've tried them all. I mean, and I would lose weight. And then I would put the weight back on and a little bit more, because you go on a diet and you go off a diet. Diets are meant to restrict and then you stop them, right? So I never heard of keto until about 8 years ago. And I thought, oh, let's try this one now. What do you do? Okay, I watched a video of a guy on YouTube, and he showed the foods to eat and talked about macronutrients, and I didn't even know anything about them because all I knew was the food pyramid and the My Plate. So I'm like, okay, you don't eat carbs, you don't eat sugar, you take this out, and I can eat these meats and eat these vegetables. I was doing keto and a handful of berries. So I did that, and within 2 weeks, I lost about 25 pounds, and then I lost a total of 35 pounds within a month or two. And I like slapped me in the face, like, ho, there's something to this diet now. All right. And then I went down the rabbit hole of YouTube and started watching Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Sean Baker, Anthony Chain, all these different great people that are now our mentors, and started reading a few books, and I learned. And every day I learned something and applied it to my life and made a change. And I went ketogenic for a whole year. Ate a lot of spinach, a lot of cinnamon, a lot of turmeric, a lot of dark chocolate because it was low carb and no seed oil. And I got a kidney stone because they are very high in oxalates. I didn't know anything about that. So then I read about oxalates, Sally Kate Norton, Monique Attinger. And I learned that I did it to myself by adding too many, and that I need to back off slowly and not too fast. So I went ketovore for 3 years, and I felt better, felt wonderful. I passed that kidney stone, which was terrible. And then I realized, after watching the carnivore influencers, I am so close to being a carnivore, like you were. I'll just take out the remaining vegetables. So I've been carnivore for the last 3 years. I think that adds up to 8. And I have healed my lower back. My depression has gone away. I have paroxysmal atrial fibrillation, AFib, my heart. I'm in remission. I haven't gone into AFib in a long time. I had obsessive compulsive disorder where I'd bite my nails and rip my fingers whenever I got stressed, being a teacher. And I stopped. I just noticed I have no desire to do this anymore. My skin cleared up. My teeth and gums, my gums stopped receding. I just had energy to spare, and I was excited to live. And I couldn't wait for the next day and to learn. And being a teacher, as you know, we can't shut up, right? When you learn something and you're so excited about it, and it's part of your nature. I taught for 34 years. I'm like, I have to tell people. I have to share this. I have to teach this. I have to use my skills and make videos. And so that's kind of what I got into now, and why I make videos and interview people, because it's affected my life so positively. And I get a lot of feedback now. I get so many comments on my YouTube channel asking me questions, how do I do this? Can you help me? And I'm so excited to get these because I want to help people. And if I don't know the answer, I say, let me find out for you. Or I push them I refer them to somebody else because I want to help people, because I've been helped. And who helped me? People online. They don't know they did it, but because they were online, they were there. So my goal now is to be present in social media and online for anybody who's looking. So I'm really strong on my keywords and my search words and my hashtags, and people who are looking for something will find me. So that's my one of my versions of my story in a nutshell.
That was great. Yeah, I love that you say that that's your mission now, because that's the same thing for me. Being online, that's how I heard about this. And I was helped by, some of the big names like Dr. Barry. But then once I sort of went through all of his videos and things, it was the smaller channels,
Right.
where I was on the live streams, like our friends in the chat right now. And I would just say hi to people. And then it got to where they see Meeting Wellness, they know, oh, hi, Christy. Like, that you get to know each other.
Right.
That's how we got to know each other. And it was just so helpful to have that community, because up until recently, this is kind of what I wanted to go into next. Up until recently, the only other full carnivore, I mean, my mom is meat-based keto, but like the only other full carnivore.
I met Mom.
You did meet Mom at Hack Your Health Hack Your Health ago. She's doing great. She just got back. So over Christmas, she went to Italy with my brother's family and did a bunch of walking out there. She was sending me pictures of her meals. They have some good looking steaks in Italy. Can I just say? Okay. She was sending me pictures like she was not eating pasta, you guys. No, she was not. Good. I think she said one day, like the rest of the family went to gelato every single night, and she tried gelato once the whole time she was there. I'm like, okay, I understand that. I said, but this was funny, because I said, what flavor did you get? And she goes, I don't remember. And I said, then it probably wasn't that good or worth it, was it? Was it? She's like, you're probably right. Yeah. So yeah, she's doing fabulous. Just as healthy as ever, still able to, travel internationally.
That's wonderful.
Getting ready. She's from Oklahoma originally. So she's planning to be out there coming up soon for a few weeks. And so, yep, she's just living life and doing awesome at, I think she's 74 now, 73, 74. So yeah, she's just doing fantastic.
That's great.
So I didn't know any other carnivore people except Zach, like who lives with me, until what was it? Whenever it was the San Diego meetup for Healing Humanity. So San Diego is just south of me, and they invited me to speak. So I did some public speaking, which, okay, yes, I'm public speaking right now, but like I'm alone in my office. Okay. This was like on a stage behind a microphone, speaking to people.
And it wasn't 10-year-olds.
And it was not 10-year-olds. And there was more than 30 of them. It was a whole big room full at a hotel.
The difference. Yeah. Your peers.
Yes. So, Carrie Mann, obviously it was Healing Humanity. So it was Carrie Mann and Adam were there. And then Courtney Luna, because she's from my neck of the woods, was there, as well as, a lot of the Healing Humanity, Dr. Nelson and Lynn and all those
That
guys.
was the picture I think I saw with you.
Yes.
And I commented, You
emailed me, like, are you with the Healing Humanity team? I'm like, I sure am, even though I'm not on YouTube right now. I sure am. So when I was there, I noticed this lady, and she was like wearing my exact same shoes, like the same shoes I was wearing. And so I kind of bumped her shoulder like that. And I was like, hey, shoe twin. And so we just got to talking, and she actually lives about 20 minutes from me. And so on our February break, we went to lunch together. So I now have another carnivore friend that's not in my family, that I met, that lives close enough where we can, go out and talk. So yeah, we had a good breakfast and just talked about, all things carnivore. She's a little bit older than me, but she has a son about Zach's age, who's wanting to go carnivore right now. So we had plenty in common and plenty to talk about. So that was super cool. And then I have something coming up I'm very excited about. And because I'm going to get to meet Dr. Barry there. Yes, the COSI conference, which is in Las Vegas. I'm going to be going there because that's just a hop, skip, and a jump down the road for me. So I'm going to take a couple of those sick days that you were talking about. I'm using personal days to go and do that. And I'm very excited because so Uncle Charlie is saying Dr. Ken Berry is a little overrated, but But here's the thing with Dr. Ken Berry. It was only because of his channel that I even found out what eating a meat-based keto diet is. So I decided to go keto, similar to John when he said, oh, I heard about keto, let me just do this. Well, I didn't even have a list of foods. I was like, what's keto? Like, you just eat a bunch of bacon, I think. I don't know.
Right,
Avocado.
yeah.
Like, I didn't really know. And I keep the carbs low. And I was still like, thinking about like net carbs. I didn't know about total carbs. I had always known about net carbs. I didn't know total, whatever. Like, I didn't have any information. And I was just on a Facebook group. I had joined a Facebook group just for recipes. And in the comments, somebody not even talking to me just said something about, you should check out Dr. Berry. And so it was because of him that I found out, well, if you're eating keto, it should be like half your plate is meat and half of your plate is veg. And we don't do keto snacks and we don't do keto treats and we count total carbs and no more than 20 and all of that. And then I started learning about the benefits that this type of, way of eating, can do for people. And I didn't go carnivore because of him. I went, like I said earlier, I went carnivore just accidentally because the vegetable just didn't appeal to me anymore. Because that's what I was eating. Yeah. I was eating the steak and the vegetable, and I was like, that broccoli just doesn't even sound good, so I'm just going to leave it off. And then, yes, as I got further into carnivore, then I was like, oh, there's like Dr. Chafee. And you know what? Dr. Berry is actually a carnivore himself.
Yeah,
and then that's when I found all the other, influencers like you and all the other, Robin and all the other carnivore people, Larry and all those guys. Where we've all first started our YouTube channel.
Community is probably one of the most important things. We get encouragement from one another. We cheer each other on. We share stories like we're doing now. I got to meet a whole bunch. I met you in person, which was fun. We'd make music together. We're back connected here, and it's fun. And it's something, if you think about what happened during COVID lockdown, people lost that. The face-to-face, the meeting, it's part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. As you know, we have to have connection or else we're not healthy. And so even through a camera on a screen, which isn't everything, being in person is better. We need connection. And when you're learning how to eat properly at the very beginning, that's where it's really, really important. Because a lot of people, they have problems, they have questions, they're failing at something. And so many people have gone through the same thing, and you get to hear how they got through it. That's why Dr. Berry is not overrated. He's fantastic. He has his lives with his wife, and they answer so many questions. People are constantly referring back to him because he has really helped millions. And I'm saying millions, literally, millions and millions of people. So, Uncle Charlie, man, you got to go check out his channel again, and you'll see that he's not overrated at all.
Yeah, I think as somebody mentioned, he kind of stays in his lane. This is my opinion, right? Take it or leave it. but my opinion is, I think what Dr. Berry is awesome for in our community is the initial introduction to this way of eating. Like, probably if you just jumped in with Dr. Chafee, who was awesome. I have interviewed Dr. Chafee more than once. I have spoken to Dr. Chafee. He is awesome. He's very, he's a proponent of more of like how you eat, John, which I think is pretty strict. Like, I still have coffee, and I understand I'm stripping my magnesium and all of that. I get that. I'm not sure if that's like, as far like it is an entry level, introduction, I guess, to this way of eating. Maybe some people come in through that door, maybe.
Right. And Barry drinks coffee.
Right.
And stops and starts it. And so it's not, people want to simplify this. It's not a black and white. It is a very simple way of eating, but we tend to overcomplicate everything. And one size does not fit all. So, maybe Dr. Berry doesn't fit somebody's personality. So you find someone else that you like to listen to.
Absolutely.
Dr. Chafee, man, he's amazing, but he is very, very he'll tell you, coffee is an insecticide. They used it to kill bugs. Don't drink coffee, period.
Yes.
Hard stop.
Yes.
And
which is what I'm saying. Like, I enjoy that because maybe I need a little of that in my life. Right. But first coming into it, it's like, it's all so foreign when you're first introduced to it. Like,
and we have
when
so
somebody
much
says you're just going to only eat meat. What? Like, you can't even wrap your brain around that, I think, for a lot of people when they're first coming in. So I do appreciate Dr. Berry in everything that I learned from what I just binge watched his keto channel, actually, because at the time I was going keto. So that's what I was, watching. And it really helped me to understand really don't go eat the keto snacks and treats and keto bread. And because I probably would have tried that stuff if I hadn't been told. And then I would have been sorry.
The world out there is selling keto.
Yes.
What is keto? Keto is net carbs, and you can have, as long as the number right here, this particular number, if you add up the sugar, alcohols, and you add up this fiber, that pulls this carb number down, and now we're going to call it keto and sell a product. And a lot of people, that when they go keto, they're like, oh, I can have keto bread, I can have keto cheese, I can have all this stuff that they sell in the store, and it's ultra processed food.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. I wish I could remember who I was watching, but I was watching somebody the other day, and they were talking about they have done keto more than once in their life. And the first time it worked like a charm, because kind of like what you were saying, what your version of keto was, which was some meat, some veg, and a couple berries. And you lost a bunch of weight doing that. And they said the same. And then it was like they did keto again, and because, you know, they fell off and gained some weight, whatever. And then they went to go do it again. And then now there's all this stuff in the grocery store, and they're doing that. And then they're like, why isn't this working? Why isn't this working the way it did before? Well,
and people are looking for something that works. Like, I'm going to try this and it better work, or I'm not going to do it. And it's like, they're still perceiving it as a diet.
Correct.
And when we finally get to the point where we realize this is not supposed to be a diet, it's supposed to be the way our ancestors ate for hundreds of thousands of years. It's the way we're supposed to eat.
Yes.
And it's the way we ate all the way up until the late 1800s, when all this ultra processed and modern stuff entered our way of eating. We need to eat that as a way of life, and not think of it as, oh, I'm going to try this to help me lose weight. And then that puts us in that other category. You know, everybody's chasing that weight thing. And we realize we should, you know, you and I know that we learn that we get healthy first. And then the weight loss, if it's going to happen as a side effect because your body needs to lose the weight, it will just happen. And it really does. It's amazing. That's why we talk about it so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you said what you said about people make it so complicated. I mean, I've even seen a few people leaving carnivore back for keto again, because literally they're like, the noise in the carnivore community is crazy. You know, I've heard them say that. And I certainly understand that. Do I go heavier protein? Do I go heavier fat? Can I have coffee? Can I not? It does kind of go on and on.
And there are people out there who are zealots. You know, you don't do it this way. Some people get into some of the Facebook groups and they start chatting with your eating. You put mustard. Oh, you're not a carnivore anymore. And they're very, very hard on other people. And it's really sad, because it's discouraging them. And, you know, there is no set rule with this. You find what works for you. And if only meat, salt, water, and fat works because you need to go lion diet because you have eczema and you have all these other issues, then that's what works for you. Other people can have a lot of other things and it still works for them. So I would never, and Dr. Berry talks about this, he doesn't discourage people just because they're eating something that's not considered carnivore. You know, carnivore, what is it called? Hypercarnivore is 70 or 75% animal products.
Yeah. So 70% is
what's the rest? What's the rest?
Right.
And you're still carnivore
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm probably more like 95%, 97%. I don't know.
I am.
Rick says, I find carnivore easy. Honestly, I do too. It's very hard for me to think about like, oh, you know, I guess I'm trying to say I don't relate as much to people that say that it's difficult. I can understand, I can empathize, right? When they're, oh, this is hard to stick to. I understand that and I can empathize with that, but I don't personally relate to that because I no longer want to go and eat whatever. Like I want to go and eat the ribeye, or I want to go and eat the chicken thighs or whatever. That's what I want to eat. When I'm hungry, that's what I want. It's not like, oh, I really wish I could have a bowl of oatmeal, but I'm not going to do it because I'm going to just stick to carnivore. Like, no, I'm not wanting spaghetti or
when you first start and you don't know what you're doing, that is there maybe for a little bit. Like, oh, because you're still craving sugar, you know, at the very beginning. But once your body once you become fat adapted and your mitochondria has changed over, and that takes about 8 or 9 weeks, really. For most people, then you don't think about that oatmeal ever again. I haven't had a piece of bread in over 8 years. I don't think about it. I don't even think about it. It's easy. And Rick, he's so funny. He goes, he finds it easy. Well, he started when he was, what, 16 years old.
Yes. He says, no one has been carnivore longer than me. How long has it been, Rick? 40 something years.
41
he's been
for him.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, I'm on 3 years. In June will be 3 years. And it's easy at this point to me, but only because it's literally what I want.
It's what you want, right? It's what your body wants. It's what your
my body wants. I don't, you know.
And Erin says that she drinks coffee with carnivore diet and calls it hypercarnivore.
Yes.
Of course it's hypercarnivore because it's within that 30%. Now, I do use yellow mustard. I do. Sometimes I'll put a little oregano in my bone broth soup. All right. Did I lose my carnivore card?
Exactly.
Am I going to get yelled at? Are people going to stop following me now because I said that?
Yeah, somebody might say that you lost your carnivore card. It's just fine with me. I mostly, if I'm cooking the meat just for me, I'm mostly just going to put salt on it. I'm just going to put salt on it. I stopped using, seasonings. However, when I make chicken, it's not just for me. I mostly make it for Zach. My husband will sometimes eat some. And then I eat some sometimes. So when I do that, then I use like the Redmond real salt, but it's like the organic seasoned. Yeah, no, it's like this, not the smoked stuff is what I use on my picanha, but it's like the seasoned salt. So there's like a little garlic, a little onion, a little whatever, but it's like organic seasoned salt. And I'm not gonna not eat that. Like I eat that when I make the chicken for kind of like everybody, I eat that. If I'm making it just for me, like if I'm making a ribeye, all I want on there is salt. I don't want any of that other stuff. And that's what I do. So yeah, for me, it's like a little seasonings here and there. It's my coffee. And then sometimes if I go out and I get like an omelet or something, then I might get a little avocado on the side. Because we grow those right here in California. So that would be like a local, you have them there in Florida. Yeah, that's like a local thing. So maybe that's once every 6 months I might eat a quarter of an avocado, like a few little slices that they're going to.
That was actually the last thing I gave up when I went from ketovore to carnivore.
You gave up.
I would have an avocado every single day just because of habit. I was so good. I put the ones on the windowsill until they were just about ripe. The other ones were too hard. I was good at cutting them and getting the pit out and everything. I did that for years. And then when I went carnivore, I'm like, all right, let's take this out and see if I feel any different. And I actually felt better without.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I used to eat them like that too. Almost every day I would have a half or a whole. And now it's just like, if I go out and if I choose to, it's not even every time. It's like, if I choose to, that's when I do it. I don't buy them and bring them in the house.
Right. But you could. You could if you were at a party and they were there. Yeah.
I could. Yeah. I'm not like against it. But one thing that I'm not going to do as an example is I have a big family on my mom's side. Although she's an only child, she has like a ton of cousins because her dad was one of 8 children.
Wow.
So she has like a bunch of cousins. And they do a family reunion like every 5 years. So I went to the last one. That was before I was carnivore. This one's in a different location, but like I'm not going to go because nobody can tell me what the food is going to be.
Oh, you've asked?
Yes. And I'm like, because I'm not going to take Zach, especially for Zach. I refuse to do that to Zach because if he goes off, I don't know if he would come back. I don't know. So I'm steering clear of that one because it's like at a campground. It's like at a campground with cabins and there's a big kitchen and they're going to be.
Oh, it sounds fun. You should go for the camaraderie. Just don't eat the food unless it's all centered around food.
It's a weekend. It's like 4 days.
And it's all centered around food.
I mean, I'm not going to fast for 4 days and Zach's not going to fast for 4 days.
I wonder if you could bring your own or cook your own.
It's in Michigan. I have to fly there.
Oh. Okay.
Or Michigan or Indiana. I don't know. Far.
One of those states out there.
Sorry, that was, yes.
One of those Midwest states.
It's Indiana. One of those middle states. But anyway, I have to fly and it's far. And so, it's hard to bring your own. And so I just told my mom, sorry, not this time.
Yeah. Hey, Josephine. I haven't been saying hi to anybody. Spanky.
I know.
Aaron.
It's my fault. I'm not popping them up there.
Who
hi,
else
Josephine.
Is here? Uncle
nice
Charlie,
to see you.
Lady Fritz.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to the back to the top.
I'm scrolling. Who else did we
So Rick said hello right away. Yeah. Hi, Rick.
Lewis. Hi, Lewis.
Sandy, if you're still here. Hi from Florida. Hi, Sandy.
RJ.
Bacon Runner. hello. And
yeah,
then
I haven't been typing anything because I've been trying to focus on our conversation.
Simpson said hello.
Yeah.
Sorry if I miss you too. Oh, somebody from Brazil. That's super cool. Hey, Fernando.
Isn't that cool? That's what I love about this. You get people,
yes.
people from Singapore and South Africa. It's really cool, all over the place.
And then we got Uncle Charlie here.
Uncle Charlie, yeah.
And then
pops up online.
Oh yeah, and then RJ McKenna.
Good day from Port Kembia, New Australia. NSW, North Southwest Australia, TSG. Look at that.
I am scrolling. I'm looking for that one.
Oh, that's near the bottom.
Oh, you did. I'll find it. But you did tell your story earlier. So Simpson said, "Great story, John. I'll be celebrating my 3-year carniversary April 1st.
Good for
Carnivore rocks. That was after you shared your little carnivore intro to carnivore.
Yeah. Mine was January. Was 3 years. And people know their exact day. They spout out how many days they've been carnivore or whatever. I'd have to get the calculator out and figure it. But
hey, check this out. We have a fellow teacher, and he or she popped in because
we're teachers.
Because we're teachers. Nice.
Yeah, we should tell another teacher story. We have 1,000 of them.
We have 1,000 of them. Oh, that's for real. That is for real.
Craziest stories. Have you, all right, here's a question for you related to teachers and stories. Do your students know you're a carnivore, and do they ask you about the food that you eat?
Okay, so that is a great question. I'm just kind of putting up all the hellos real quick. There's the one you were talking about. I don't want to miss anybody. Yes. Okay, cool. Thanks. Hi, everyone. So there we go. Actually, yes, they do. And the reason for that is it stems back to a state testing, I think last year or the year before, I don't remember. State testing. And if you're a teacher, the state testing is like it's very high stakes and high pressure, because it doesn't matter anything else that anybody else does. What only matters is you as the teacher are judged for whatever scores your students are going to put up. Even if they just decide to go clickety, click, click, click. That's my fault. That's my score. I have to own that score.
Yep.
So it's very, it's like a high pressure situation.
Especially for math teachers.
Yes, for math teachers. And I teach, although I'm elementary, I team teach, and my grade level is also tested in science. If you didn't know that, John. So my students take a math and a science test.
Yeah.
Yes. And our district school board, in their infinite wisdom, has decided that we need to make 5% growth every single year over year in science. How sustainable is that? Not very. And so it is a high pressure in science as well. So those are the scores that I'm responsible for. And at the same time, we see what the school system is feeding the children. And in my school, they get 2 free meals a day. They get every student can get a free breakfast and a free lunch.
And it's a wonderful breakfast, isn't it?
No. It's a Pop-Tart or it's a bowl of cereal. And when I say cereal, I mean Lucky Charms.
Yep. Skim milk.
It is skim milk or chocolate milk, non-fat chocolate milk. Wait. One of them is 1%. There's a white milk and a chocolate milk. One is skim and one is 1%.
Ours too.
There is a muffin. One day there was a chocolate chip cookie with some frosting on top. That was breakfast.
How about French toast covered in powdered sugar, deep fried in peanut oil?
Covered with powdered sugar with syrup to dip them in.
And it was fried, yeah.
And fried, oh yes, in peanut oil, yes. And so these are the things that they're feeding them for breakfast. And so especially, although all the time it's gross and I don't like it, and I do go there and I say, read that label, sugar, 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 sugar. Yeah, we talk about it. But during testing, I'm like, okay, you guys, let's get real right now. Because they move the breakfast too. So breakfast normally is not till recess at my grade level. They do it at recess time. Oh. But during testing, they move it to first thing in the morning because they want to make sure that their stomachs aren't grumbling when they're trying to take this test, right?
Right.
So I say, let's get real, you guys, because that breakfast is a bunch of sugar. So what's going to happen is you're going to get all hyper or whatever, and then you're going to crash right when you're trying to answer your math questions or whatever. So what I'd like you to do is eat some protein. I say to them. And then I'm like, so what's protein? And they don't know what protein is. They're like, protein shake? Protein bar?
They know the word protein.
They know the word protein. Right. Yes. They're like, look at this in my lunch. It says protein. And it's like a granola bar that has the word protein on it.
With all the other sugar and other crap.
Yes. And so, we're not talking like a carnivore bar or something like that. No. And so I'm like, okay, you guys. And so that's kind of how I was like, look, I eat meat all the time. And so that's how we got into like, I'm a carnivore, etc. So here's what I would recommend, how about some bacon and eggs for breakfast? Or like, I would accept, a cheese stick, like, even if you're going to have yogurt, if you can do some Greek yogurt that's like low sugar, like that, I'll even accept that because it's better than the bowl of Lucky Charms that you're going to get and fat-free milk. And so we talk about that, and I will tell you this. So last year at testing, I had my principal's daughter. And so she went home and talking all about how Mrs. Keel wants her to be eating, bacon and eggs and whatever for testing. And so my principal did it. She did it. And
I thought you were going to say she came back and yelled at you.
No, she did not yell at me. Good. She did it. And then she was like, oh yes. And she's been eating the bacon. And then it was like after testing. And then she was telling me, oh yeah, my daughter likes the bacon and eggs so much that she's still doing the bacon and eggs.
Wow.
And then when it was like almost done with school, she goes, I'm noticing that my daughter is like some different things are happening. Like she seems more with it. Wow. And she's like, and I said, do you think it's the bacon and eggs?
Wow.
And she's like, maybe. And so we're going into testing season again, as you know, that's every spring. And so we just had a meeting about it today, and it's coming up in May will be the month of the tests.
I remember.
Most teachers are against it, you guys, but we just work here, And so we were talking about it. So yes, I'm about ready to start talking about, I need you guys to eat some protein, and here you go. And this is what I would suggest. Here's what I feed my son in the morning, and, sausage and eggs and, butter. This year I talked about butter, and one of my students said, oh, really? My parents said never to eat butter.
Right.
I said, well, butter has some vitamins in there. Why don't you Google it and find out what are the things that are good for you in butter? And so she did, to find out.
They're so much more impressionable than we realize.
Yeah.
They listen. They listen.
They do listen. And some of them, even when it comes to Teacher Appreciation Week, some of them will buy me beef jerky because they really are listening. Some of them still buy me chocolate.
I have a stack of Starbucks gift cards.
Oh, yes.
From years ago that are still in my drawer.
Yes,
because they love to give coffee cards, these kids.
They do. And fortunately, I do drink coffee. But now because of the phones, all mine are just in my phone. And I don't do it very often. Right. I don't do Starbucks very often because I don't like the additives and the cream and whatever. Yeah. But occasionally, or like when I'm about to go on my trip, that's probably when I'll,
or the Dunkin' Donuts cards.
Those.
And
we get all those kind of cards.
And you make out in elementary school with the Christmas gifts. You guys
more so than you do. Although I do, to be fair, I teach in a low socioeconomic area.
Oh, okay.
So like my sister-in-law and brother, they teach high school, but it's like in an affluent area, and they get, oh my gosh. Oh, yeah.
I have gone, I taught in different districts. I taught in Maryland, I taught in Florida, and years ago, there was so much more thought with the cards and the writing and the actual gifts. And then as the years progressed, they got smaller and smaller. Plus I taught upper grades, 7th and 8th grade. And every once in a while I would get I have some that are still hanging up on the wall, like just really cool ornaments and things.
Yes. Yes, they draw me things. I've had some like 3D print me things.
Yes.
Those are the things I keep. Some of them, if it's a drawing, eventually after the school year's over, it might get round filed. But if they 3D printed, or some of them like they woodworked this big thing that says Mrs. K, like all I don't know what that tool is called, but they like scrolled it all out.
Like burn it in or whatever.
No, it's like a bunch of the wood is taken out, so it's just out of wood, and they painted it. So like I kept that one. One of them made me like a giant pencil that holds pencils, out of wood. So I kept that one. So yeah, you do get some pretty cool stuff,
which is cool. Yeah.
Kids are. They really just want to make you happy. Most
it can
of them.
be. So for me, kids knew I was doing, when I was teaching, it was keto and ketovore. I hadn't become a carnivore yet until I retired. Okay. It's going on 4 years already, retirement. I can't believe already. And some of them knew, and I would tell them, and they would look at me like I was from outer space. You don't eat, and then they would name the food. You don't eat pizza?
Oh, yes.
What do you mean you don't eat that? Oh, that's not good. And then they would repeat the same thing that the adults had taught them. Oh, that's you're going to get high cholesterol. That's fat. That's bad for your heart. And then I would say, well, no, it's not. And, I found that they were more apt to listen. They were more open-minded than you realize. So you've got an audience there if you frame it just right. And especially with testing, that's such a great opening the way you did
Yeah,
it.
that is the opening that I use. And then on a more individual basis, when I have like a meeting for a kid that's maybe in special education and I have to be in that meeting, and especially if it's a kid with ADHD, and I think a lot of us know how many of those we see. So I just say, my principal allows me to say, I'm putting on my mom hat now. I am not speaking as a representative of the school district, but like, my son has ADHD and here's what I did and here's what I have noticed. Wow. So she does let me say that. They all look at me like I'm absolutely bonkers.
Let them look that way, but you're planting the thought to any of those parents or any of those kids.
Maybe someday they will get as desperate as my son and I were, and they will give it a try. And I can only hope.
Unfortunately, in our world, in our carnivore world, that's where most people come from. They are looking because they had a kidney stone. They're looking because their skin is falling off from horrible eczema. They are getting to the point where it's an emergency and they've gone up every route and they're like, well, I guess I'll try this carnivore thing or this low carb thing because nothing else is working. And that's when they find it. I just wish people would listen before that.
Yes. I only hope that my son sticks to it. I don't know if you heard this story. A few months ago, we were at a family gathering and my husband's aunt said, so like, she's very like, I don't know. I don't think she's quite keto, but I think she's like low carb. And I would definitely say she's whole food, maybe paleo. So she's definitely gone toward that direction. She was not always that way. She was very food pyramid for a long time. It's changed a lot, and she's very supportive of the way Zach and I are eating for sure.
Good.
And so she asked him, so like when you don't live with mom anymore, like when you're older and you move out, do you think you're still going to eat this way? And you can always tell because he gave a thoughtful answers. It's the same thing when I asked him if he wanted to try it. He didn't just blurt something out. He thought about it. He looked up and thought about it. And so he did that. And then he was like, actually, I think she gave him a time frame, like 10 years or 5 years or something. And he goes, well, 5 years is a long time, he said, but, and then he proceeded to explain why he thinks that he probably still will eat this way.
He just explained sustainability.
Yes, he sure did. I think at the time he was, 16 or something.
16 years old.
Yeah, that he said that to her.
That's wonderful.
Well, hey, we have another question. So when I'm running these live streams, I really do try to hit.
Yeah, let's do that. And we're up past an hour here. So
So we'll answer this question and then we'll say goodbye. So this is from Matt, and he says, what options are there to eat cooked meat while avoiding carcinogens and chemical compounds, acrylamides, created by high heat?
Good question. And we talked about sous vide, which is one method of very, very low, slow heat that's slow. And you have absolutely no advanced glycation end products, no acrylamides. You're not going to get any carcinogens. I also believe in this too. If you char meat the way I like to do it, that's not the same as your body having the glucose inside, creating the advanced glycation end products on the inside. When you're eating it on the outside, your stomach acid breaks that down. Dr. Berry explained that. It's not the same thing. So there aren't any carcinogens in animal products, really. And I think the acrylamides, you're just concerned about the charring of the meat, and you don't have to char it. A lot of people, you can put it in the crock pot. There's many methods. What say you?
Yeah, I was actually going to say crock pot, and then you stole my thunder, but that's okay because so did Rick. Rick said stewed meat.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe like the pressure cooker might be a similar thing. So it's a little faster way to do it. So the sous vide takes forever. The crock pot, takes forever. Of course, to me, that's convenient. So in the morning, that's how I do my chuck roast. I put it in the crock pot in the morning. I come home, the whole house smells delicious, and hey, chuck roast ready to go. But if you're in a pinch and you need to do it in a hurry, then I would say that like I have an instant pot, type of pressure cooker. I've done ribs in there before, and I've even done them for company. They turn out really good. Now, to be fair, I do finish them under the broiler, but you wouldn't have to do that part. You could just take them right out of the instant pot.
And remember that so good. Humans have charred meat over an open fire for hundreds of thousands of years, millions of years.
Yes, that was the other thing I was also, John and I were like on the same page. I was going to say that is definitely something that we've been doing for a long time. We've cooked with fire as a species. And so it's not something that I personally worry about it. But hey, if you're worried about it, we just gave you 3 really good methods to have
there are ways to do it
while avoiding that.
Good question.
Well, John, I mean, we have to do this again.
Let's do it again because we
great.
get more questions. There's so much to talk about.
Yes. And thank you everyone for watching. We had so many people watching. I was pleasantly surprised, especially after being off for so long, that so many of you guys came and joined us today. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And thank you, John, for doing this with me.
Thanks for having me.
I guess I'm going to see. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can remember where the button is to end the stream.
Yeah, you have to end and then yes. Stand there and wait and smile until.
Okay, here we go. You ready to wait and smile? All right. Bye, everybody.